Aha, this is a wake up call. Hi, freelance writer. How are you doing today? This is a wake up call for you. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're being well. Today, we're focusing on freelance communication, oral communication. And I was really passionate about doing this because I realized that because we're slowly getting into the economy of or the lifestyle or the work style of working behind our computers a lot, less interactions with human beings, our communication are less effective than they used to be, or they can be more crass than they used to be because of a lack of human interaction, less human interaction. That is bio human interaction. That's what I'll call it. That's like physical exchange or things like that. We tend more to have our games and impersonal communication with people we do not know, listening to podcasts, listening to me, things like that, or listening to podcasts and videos like this. Well, basically, I wanted to focus on oral communication today because how you speak with your clients is just as important as the work you do for them, right? It means that you're able to maintain relationships, and even if you're not, you're able to you're able to present yourself in the best possible way. I also realized that we're also getting into an economy where we're interacting with people from all over the world. So what that means is sometimes you're working with someone in a different time zone. You're working with somebody in India. You're working with somebody in the Americas. You're working with somebody in Europe, Australia, Asia, all of those countries or all of those continents, and you're dealing with someone with a different culture, with a different attitude. So I'd like to cite this example. I worked with an Indian, are they Indian based? I believe they are Indian based or Philippine based, but the founder was Indian. And I worked with this company for a brief period of time in 2020, I believe, or 2021. I cannot pick the year right now. And one of the things I observed, everybody was intentional about. My line manager, the CEO, when I had a meeting with him, that's the founder, and other members of the work community I interacted with, was that they spoke slowly, such that other people are able to accommodate or listen to what they're saying because their speech is not what anybody else is used to. Even though I had had a lot of experience with the Indian language or way of speaking because I love Indian movies. I grew up on a lot of Indian movies. My dad was such a sucker for Indian movies, so we grew up on Indian movies. And there was a lot of clarification, and it felt like all of my effective communication classes that I had attended, I could see it being displayed. So they made sure that they give off a body language, or they usually give off a body language that encouraged comfort, encouraged you to feel just as relaxed as they were. They also spoke as slowly as they could without passing it off as an insult, because I know that they could speak slower, they could speak faster, but they tempered the speed of their speaking to ensure that their message was being passed. And yes, everybody was speaking English, but cultural tones always comes to play, and they did that. And where I spoke or anybody else spoke and they did not understand, they clarified. And for me, I think these are the basics. And if you attend any effective communication class, any class I even hold, this is like the foundation of effective communication. Speak such that your hearer can hear you, your listener can hear you, and clarify where you are not sure you've grasped. Even after you're sure, clarify what you have heard. So, did you mean that this is what you meant to say? are you certain that you want me to work for 5 hours, you know, over the course of 3 weeks? Does it mean that all 5 hours, just clarify, 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 clarify. I think that's like one of the most important things to clarify. Next week, I'm going to be talking about, written communication. I'm bringing it up because one of the things I make sure I do as a freelance writer, especially in the light of contracts, is after we have spoken, after we have had a call, after we have said something, I send it as a message again, a written message, written text via our mode of communication, WhatsApp, Slack, email. Just send a message to say, oh, regarding our call from earlier, what you have said is one, two, three, and four, and I have decided to do five, six, seven, and eight, especially if we agree to terms of work, so pricing, deliverables, all of those. I make sure that they're recorded again in written text, and I think that's very important. But we'll discuss that in the next video next week. We'll discuss that next week, and that's in the next video next week. So I think that the two things I want to ensure, or I want to pass across as a message to freelance writers or freelancers in general, when you're communicating with your clients, speak such that they can hear you, speak loudly, speak clearly, pace yourself when speaking, and secondly, clarify what you have heard. Don't just speak, also listen, and then clarify what you have heard. Clarify, clarify, clarify. I hope this helps you. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever been in trouble for something you said or meant to say and didn't end up saying, or things like that. Have a great week.